Hello, this is Eric Binion from artablog.com, and this is video 3 of the WordPress Rockstar series. In this video, I'd like to walk you through how to go from no design to a very professional and fun design in just 15 to 20 minutes maybe. But before we start getting into how to actually create a design, let's go ahead and walk through 4 of the most popular types of themes out there on the market right now. Those 4 are the blog theme, the corporate theme, magazine theme, and the responsive type theme. Now, blog, corporate, and magazine are all separate types of themes, but they can also be responsive. Responsive just means that the size, the website changes the way it looks based on what device is looking at it. So if you're looking at the website from, say, a laptop or a desktop, you'll see one version. If you're looking at the website from, say, your iPhone or your Android phone, you'll see a different version that is optimized for that device. All right, but enough of that talk. Let's go ahead and look at some examples. First up, we have the blog theme. Now, my favorite theme to illustrate the blog style is the balance theme, which is a child theme of the Genesis framework, available from Studio Press. As we look at the balance theme, you'll notice it's very minimal. There's a basic logo up here, navigation. There's a pretty large size subscription box. This is great for building your readership. And as typical, this has a 2-column layout. You have the content on the left-hand side, and you have links and other resources on the right-hand side. This is a very minimal theme, but it also gives a professional feel without being over the top. Next up, we have the corporate theme. I think Agency does a good job of representing this. Again, this is another child theme available for the Genesis framework from Studio Press. To go through the Agency theme, let's go ahead and look up here. There's a more professional looking logo than I believe the Balance logo was. The navigation has some nice drop downs. There's also a very prominent header feature area where you would be able to put images along with maybe your, top features or anything you want to focus on about your company. There's another feature area right about the middle where I would focus on maybe, your top products or your top features again, or your best services, or maybe put some reviews in there. And then at the end, you have a very nice size footer. Now, the thing to point out right now between the two of them is on the blog style theme, notice how almost every page would have followed that 2-column layout. It would have been a content layout, a content column on the left, and then a sidebar column on the right. Notice how Agency doesn't even really have columns. It has a single column with just different content. It's one main column. And then there's 3 columns here and 3 columns here, but notice there's not any real content stacked in just one column, right? And if we go through here, you'll notice that there's different templates. We have an archive page, we have a blog page, we have a column page. So this would be one of the main differences between corporate is that there's just so many more options as far as design. All right, next up we have the magazine type theme. One of my favorites to illustrate the magazine theme, is the Arthemia. And first thing you should notice is look how much cluttered it is compared to the, say, corporate or blog theme. Now I don't blame this on Arthemia. I think it's just the nature of how much information is on this page, right? This would be a good theme for if you're a small news outlet, or if you're doing a city website, or some fairly large organization that just needed to publish a lot of information. I think Arthemia does a good job of helping people narrow down through categories. It does a good job of featuring different information and allowing media. And it also does a good job of helping people narrow down through comments, tags, most popular, different I guess, attributes and search methods. But last but not least is the responsive type theme. Now, as I said earlier, any of these themes can be made to be responsive. But to illustrate it, I'm going to show you with the balanced theme. Let me scroll up. Now, watch as I lower the width of this browser. Notice how the website responds to that. There was a change right there. All right, so let's go back up. Notice how it's almost all one column now. And as we get bigger, it's about to pop. And now it's 2 columns right here. All right, and so a responsive theme, at least right here, is we're going from 2 columns down to 1 column. This is great because we're trying to fit all the content into an attractive way for, say, a cell phone reader to look at your stuff, your website. A lot of themes, especially from StudioPress. StudioPress, I just showed you. I showed you 2 out of these 3 themes are from StudioPress. But a lot of themes are coming out with this feature now, and that's pretty awesome because some of the latest stats I've seen are up to 25% of all website visitors are mobile. So this is something great to look for as you're looking for premium themes out there. All right, now that we've covered, the types of WordPress themes out there, let's go ahead and talk about where to get great WordPress themes. So 3 of my favorite places are going to be StudioPress, ThemeForest, and Elegant Themes. First up, let's talk about StudioPress. So let me navigate there. Close these out first. StudioPress.com. All right, so StudioPress works on the Genesis framework. The Genesis framework it's basically one pretty monster theme on which you can build. They have on which you can use child themes to get a quick design. The great thing about this is you're not having to build your own design always. You may tweak a little bit, but there's already, I would say, probably dozens of child themes built. And we'll go browse through those real quick. Notice how there are all these themes that you could use with the Genesis. All right. Now, StudioPress charges, they have 2 methods of charging for their Genesis and for their child themes. And let's go ahead and look at the details for that. You can choose to get the Pro Plus package, which is $350, give or take. That's a one-time fee, and you get every single theme they've made from up to this point and into the future, which I think is pretty awesome. This is really great if you like to change designs, or if you want to get into some WordPress development. This is going to be a great place to start. Or you can choose to work just with the Genesis framework, which cost, I believe, around $80. But just for a couple $100 extra, you're going to have the ability to build client websites, which could be a nice stream of income for you on the side. Another one of my favorite places to get WordPress themes is ThemeForest. So let's go there. All right, so when you're at ThemeForest, there's going to be tons of different types of themes. You're going to have basic website, content management systems, just PSD templates. But go ahead and click on the WordPress tab. And as you're hovering on the WordPress tab, you can actually narrow down into what categories you want. Now, since this is WordPress Rockstar, let's just go ahead and go with blog. All right, so we can come in here and we can look through a few. Let's go look at flip-flop. All right, so we can look at screenshots while we're here. There's only one. Let's go back. Let's look at another one. Let's go to type grid, and let's go to live preview. This is actually going to let us see what the theme looks like. All right, so this is a very nice theme, I think. Yeah, definitely. As you can see, it's fairly minimal. There's not a lot of colors. It's easy to read. It may be responsive. Yeah, and it's definitely responsive. So at this point, if you decided you like this theme, you could bookmark it. But you can come back here and look. It's only $45 to buy that theme. Now, if you were to go to a professional WordPress developer or any type of web developer, you would probably be paying in the range of $800 plus up to $2,000 or $3,000 to get a website done. And here we've already found a fairly nice theme, and that costs $45 in just a few minutes. So let's go find another one. Let's go to Real Blog right here, and let's live preview that. And this also looks really nice. All right, let's see if it's responsive, and it is. Awesome, right? So let's close this out, and this one's only $35. So in just a couple minutes, we found two themes, both $45 under, that we could use on our blog. And last one is Elegant Themes. Elegant Themes is a little bit different than ThemeForest and StudioPress for that matter. They work on a yearly membership. So for basically unlimited access to themes that you can use on your website, you just pay $39 per year. If you want the developers, so basically you can use it on any website you want. This is good for clients. You can pay $89 per year. And then lifetime access, which is similar to StudioPress's offer, is just $249 one time. And Elegant Themes has some really nice customizations. So let's try Style Shop. This looks really nice. I could see this going for something like a store, probably a fashion store, as is pictured here. See if it's responsive, and it is. Look at that. All right. So this theme, it looks like, is $39, and that's for every theme for the whole year. Pretty awesome, right? And let's go look at one more. Let's see, Nimble. And let's try this one out. All right, and this is responsive too. And again, so $39, and you'd be able to get both these in the package. All right, but now that we've covered what types of themes there are and where to get these themes, let's also cover licensing. All right, so as we talked about, as I walked you through the 3 places to get themes, you should have noticed something. There were some themes that you got with a one-time fee, and other themes that you had to get as part of a recurring membership. Now, either way is going to be beneficial depending on what you need, but it's just something that you should look up beforehand. If you're a developer, it probably makes more sense to go with some sort of, one-time large fee, or maybe a low recurring membership. If you're just, one person trying to build a website, you may look for something on ThemeForest with a very small price. All right, and the other question is, how many websites can you install the theme on? Now, this doesn't matter to you much if you're just building a website for yourself. But in the future, as you maybe want to build a website for a friend, or you want to get into some sort of on-the-side WordPress development, it may make sense to have some sort of developer package. This is really going to depend on your goals. All right, and so last but not least, let's really get into how to build a website and get the design ready in just 15-20 minutes. So up to this point, we've already installed WordPress. We've got everything going. But let's go ahead and log in and get a design up on our website. All right, so we were at shutterbugwebs.com/WordPress. It's taking a while to load. All right, so let's log in. Cool, we're logged in. All right, so I'm going to use the Genesis theme that I had talked about, and I'm going to use the Focus Child theme. And I'll show you at both steps of the process how that turns out. So to install a theme, again, let's go to Appearance and then Themes. Let's go to Install Themes, and then let's go to Upload. Let's go to Choose File. I'm going to drag on, make sure you drag on Genesis first. And let's hit Open and Install. Now we'll give that a second to load. I'll just activate it because I've already tested it. And at this point, let's go ahead and see what it looks like. All right, so this is the default installation of Genesis theme. As you can see, it's very basic, but I believe it comes with responsiveness out of the box. Yes, it does. And it's really meant as just as a foundation for the most part. So to explain that, let's go ahead and install a child theme. Let's go back to install themes. Let's go to upload, and then let's go to choose file, and we'll drag this file on. Hit open, install. And let's activate. All right, so let's come back, let's refresh. And notice how in just a few clicks we were able to get a somewhat nice design. Now, I think we can both agree that there's quite a bit of stuff missing here. I think part of that is because there's very little content, and also I believe there is no navigation bar. So to remedy that, I'm going to come over here to another website I have. I've already finished this website. So we're just going to repeat the same process, except for on this website, because I've already got content. All right, so we're going to go to Appearance, Themes. We're going to go Install, Upload, choose Genesis. We're going to go back to Install, Upload, choose. We're going to go Focus. Okay, Install. All right, so let's, oh, it's already there. All right, so this is one thing to look out for. This basically means that the directory was not deleted. This may mean that the theme is already installed, or that on a previous deletion the folder was not deleted. So let's go see if the theme's there or not. We'll do a search for Focus, and it looks like it's there. Okay, we'll just hit activate. And now let's check out the website. All right, so this looks very similar, maybe a little bit better just because we've got content, right? If we click on one of those posts, we'll see that this looks a lot better than just the default Genesis. There's a little bit of code that we can clean up here. That would be just with some CSS though. Notice how the comments look pretty nice. All right, so let's go back to the home page. I think this could really do with maybe a logo of some sorts up here, but at least there's a nav bar. So to edit the nav bar, what we would do is we'd come to Appearance, and we'd come to Menus. And we would have, let's say, Primary. Let's have Main. Let's save that. And let's reload it. All right, notice how we have the About and Contact. So anytime we want to edit the menu, we would come to Appearance and Menus, and we would make sure we were on Main right here, and then we could, add pages, take pages away, whatever we need to do. So at this point, let's go ahead and add a home page. All right. And we can add some other page. Let's say, let's add a category. All right, let's change the way it looks. Let's save. And let's refresh. All right, so now we've got a nice little menu up here. But what if I want to just have the categories here and then the main pages up top, right? So let's do that. Let's see if we can make that work. Let's go ahead and have, let's delete this menu. Let's have a categories menu. Okay, and within that menu, we're gonna basically select all these and add. We're gonna save. And then let's make that the main menu, and let's make the secondary navigation main. Kind of confusing, right? Let's see if that works. Let's go ahead and take this category out, then save. All right, and so we've got all of our categories here, but we're missing our pages. Now, because this is a premium theme, the first place I would go look for this is over here in your admin, go to the Genesis tab. Let's go to theme settings. Within theme settings, there's going to be a lot of options you can check. You can change the layout. You can have 2-column, 3-column, and just the layout of those columns. But what we're most interested in right here is, let's go ahead and include secondary navigation. Fancy drop downs, I'm not worried about that. Let's take away extras on the right side. So now we can come save settings. Then we can reload the page. And there's our secondary navigation right there. Now in this instance, I would probably go ahead and switch it. I thought the navigation might be up top. I was wrong. So I would just switch these two in the back end. Let's go to Appearance, Menus. Let's make the primary the main navigation, and let's make the secondary the categories. Let's save. Let's reload. And there we go. We've got our home page, about page, contact page, and then we've got all our categories. Pretty nice, right? Now, let's say we want to throw something in this sidebar. Well, we can do that by going to Appearance and then Widgets. And then we can do anything right here. We can have, let's do latest tweets maybe. Oh, let me go ahead and do primary sidebar. Then let's do latest tweets. All right. And let's save. Let's reload. Wow. So 12 tweets. Now they don't look pretty, but they're there, right? That could do with a little bit of styling on your own, or you can maybe add a plugin at this point. Let's try just 2 of those. And then let's see what else we can throw in here. Let's go ahead and add a search form. All right. Now let's reload. All right, and so at this point, we've got tweets, we've got a search bar, we've got posts, we've got a basic navigation, home, about, contact, categories. We have return to top of page, and then we have our post page. Okay, let's check out a categories page. I think this is pretty solid so far. The only thing that I would recommend changing is this logo so far. So let's go ahead and go back to Genesis theme. Let's see what they've got as far as a logo, if they have anything. I'm not seeing anything. Appearance, header. All right, it looks like we can upload a header image of 960 by 100 pixels. Let's see. Let's see if we can choose an image. Let's just do this image I already have in here as an example. Let's make text color. Y is FFF. FFF, or you can use the select a color right here. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, and that doesn't look great. I could jump in Photoshop, but that kind of gets outside the bounds of this video. You would want to make it to be a clear background image, but the idea here is showing you how to use the Genesis theme. And so if you want to update your header image or anything like that, or your background, you would come to Appearance and then header, or to change the background image, you go to Background, and you could upload an image here. You can change color. So let's use, say, 333. Now let's reload. And notice how our background color changed right here. Now, the one last thing you could do is you could log in and you could edit the CSS files themselves to change the design.